morning and welcome to the show. This is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. It's a Friday, the 5th day of April, 2024. By His grace, we're live and we're here. We're at another edition of the show. Our gratitude to go to the Most High God for the rare privilege of being alive and, of course, the opportunity of having another conversation around the top stories making rounds here in our dear Republic. I'll let you into our panel for the morning's conversation shortly, but let's take a look at the front pages of our newspapers. Daily Graphic. Consolidating media leadership. Graphic to raise funds on Ghana Stock Exchange. That's according to the MD. Prioritize national peace ahead of December 7 polls. Minister tells election actors. Dr. Bawumia advocates local capacity building in health sector. Autism patients can access disability fund. The Ghanaian Times. Don't overrun budgets for projects. Finance Minister appeals to MDAs. Rally behind AU to create financial architecture to support African businesses. President Ruto to private sector. Stop escorting associates through security checks at airports. Interior Minister cautions immigration officials. FDA destroys 500 bales of substandard baby diapers. Daily Guide. Mahama hails free SHS. Bawumia pledges support for pharmaceutical industry. Court of Appeal resumes nationwide sitting. Father bends daughter's private part. Ghana, 5th best governed country. New weekend crusading guide. Ghana ranked best governed country in West Africa. Minister decries religious stereotyping. Describes Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as Muslim president God will use to prosper Ghana. Newmont Partners Project Cure to help reduce infant mortality. GMPC CEO resigns. Bono East. NPP is best to develop new regions. Asenso Boachi assures Aswei chief. Transmission lines reliability increased by 50% in parts of Western region. I'm not sponsoring anybody in court against our 2024 candidate, Bosume Freho DCU. The Insight. Child marriage in Nungwa. SMG urges presidency, women's ministry in charge to investigate child abuse cases in religious and cultural institutions. Ahead of 2024 polls, Alan's M4C partners Abu Sakare's movement. Lawyers for Teshi Youth Chief rubbish alleged land grab. Iran condemns Israel's atrocities and massacre in occupied Palestine on occasion of International Quds Day. And so one police commander accused of harassment and causing fear and panic in Ekufu Krom. Political parties urged to adopt 2024 Ghana Environment Manifesto. And case of alleged sale of government lands. Niyamo, 11 others acquitted as court orders compensation be paid to them. The Herald. Freddie Blaze presence at GMPC still major headache. Workers' agitation simmering. Impeachment looms. Concerns erupt over Haptel ECG revenue deal as Dumso continues. Afanyomaki made Deputy Speaker of ECOWAS Parliament. Abutia chiefs angry over lithium mining in sacred Kalapa Forest. Graphic MD Atu Afu fumbles at staff meeting. The Informer. MMDC is in arms against Natoshi. Big demo imminent. Ejisu by-election. NDC not ready. Reduction in port charges must benefit all. GPHA boss urges. Bawumia redeems pledge to Trinity Seminary. Cut sought for construction of 200-bed hostel. Please ready to die for Mother Ghana. IGP declares. The Inquisitor. Who partners Bawumia? Scammers on the prowl. At WAGP COM meeting at Togo, Napo reiterates Ghana's quest for more gas supply for power generation. OSP has been rendered toothless. IEA. ECG commissions transformer injections in Ashanti West to improve power supply. The Daily Statesman. Ghana best governed in West Africa. World Economic Governance Index puts nation 5th in Africa. CJ. The FEMECPO's injunction application was ripe for hearing. NHIA boss outlines 4-point vision to revolutionize healthcare. NDP advocates inclusive governance policy. Minister hails professionalism of GIS officers. The Daily Searchlight. Ghana ranks first in West Africa, 5th in Africa on World Economics Governance Index. Bahamas slams distribution of tablets to pre-tertiary students. Police officer detained over alleged shooting incident. Sacrilege. Parks and Gardens headquarters sold. GRA SML transaction. President persists with lawless probe. The New Finder. Judiciary makes bold proposals. One student, one tablet, and misplaced priority. Mahama. GMPC CEO Poku Ahwene Dankwa resigns. Dr. Bawumia promises to make Ghana pharmaceutical hub in West Africa. Daily Post. Sanitation Ministry ineffective. I'll dissolve it. Mahama. Professor Frimpong Boateng raises concerns about deteriorating state of National Cardiothoracic Center. Bawumia's manifesto team member grabs juicy single source 245 million Ghana cedis contract. Ablakwa. Fuel prices go up again with petrol selling at 14 cedis 15 pesos per litre. 14 cedis 74 pesos for diesel. The Catholic Standard. Anti-LGBTQ plus bill overwhelmingly endorsed by Ghanaians. Bishop Agenta urges its assent. Value human life, respect Ghanaian culture, protect Ghanaian family values. Speaker Bagbin tells traditional authorities. Editorial. Ghana's disappointing tourism centers. Much more has to be done. Vatican to publish documents regarding human dignity, gender, and surrogacy. And the Catholic Standard informs its cherished readers that the only national Catholic weekly paper in Ghana, which was established in 1938, has improved its website. So you can go to catholicstandardghana.com. In the coming weeks, readers will be able to subscribe to the electronic version of the paper at a very reasonable cost. All right. So the Catholic Standard ensuring that it is not left behind with the changing face of media in the world. Okay. So the paper has been around since 1938. Wow. We're back shortly. Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. With me on the show this morning as the Vice Chairman of the Bawumia 2024 campaign. And of course, the front runner of the outside Ashanti running mate squad. Nana Komia is here with me on the show. Good morning, Nana.
Good morning, Randy.
How are things going?
Well, today I'm fasting, so...
Okay. Your Friday fast?
No, usually Tuesday, but I couldn't do it Tuesday.
So you're doing it
my
today?
piety is at the forefront today.
Oh, thank you.
That's why I haven't responded to your appellations.
But appellations will take away your piety. The response will take away your piety. Anyway, so also we'll be on the show this morning is a man who's been causing a lot of trouble from last week. You know, sometimes he lures us into a false sense of repentance, you know, and he will go quiet a couple of weeks, just preparing to, you know, launch some arsenals.
What's he up to?
Okay. So he represents the good people of the Northern constituency and is a ranking member on foreign affairs. And he's been talking about passports, about 2 letters written the same day. When I read those letters, anyway, shocking. He's been talking about that. And he's also been speaking about some kululu in the tech space, the digitalization space. He's all over the place. I'm sure you've seen his watermark and some of those documents, SOA. Okay. So he's the son of Ablakwa, popularly known as the son of man. Sami Okujeto Ablakwa is here with us on the show. Good morning, Sami.
Good morning, Doc. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Nana wants to know what you've been up to, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that shortly. So, if you're thinking of getting a toothpaste that will take care of all the family and save money, the recommended family toothpaste is KEL 360 toothpaste. It's approved by the Food and Drugs Authority. KEL 360 toothpaste provides you and your family with all-round dental protection throughout the day with freshness. KEL 360 toothpaste is good for kids, children, and adults. Let your family be a proud family when they step out by constantly using Kel 360 toothpaste. Kel 360 toothpaste brightens your teeth, prevents cavity, and with its cool mint gives you fresh breath throughout the day and protects the gum from decaying. For consistency and quality, use Kel 360 toothpaste. Kel 360 toothpaste is another product from Samara Company Limited, producers of Sasso, and is available in all supermarkets, malls, and provision shops. Call Samara Company on 0246 864 798. Kel 360 toothpaste, happy smile. And the pains of climbing the stairs when not exercising could be challenging for all ages. But worry no more. Lifts and elevators have got you covered with the best portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators on the market today. It's a simple self-supported elevator for both homes and offices. And guess what? It can lift your goods too. Wheelchairs can fit in and they come in 3 custom-made models. It's affordable and can be installed within 3 days. Visit Lifts and Elevators at Sakumon or just call them on 0200 535 515 or send a mail to elevatorsgh@gmail.com for consultations and the best solutions in easy vertical movement. All right. So, Sammy, let's start off with passports. You are the ranking member on Foreign Affairs.
Yes.
And we've been told that there's a need for the increment of passports. Apparently, the state has been subsidizing the cost of passports. And I was making a point earlier this week, I think it's Tuesday or Wednesday, I was making the point that, look, unlike maybe a voter ID card or a Ghana card, a passport is really something that you need if you have plans of traveling or you are about to travel. It is not like a voter ID card which is issued to you in furtherance of your right to vote, or a national ID card which you say that it is something that you are entitled to and should be given to you. But when it comes to passports, I mean, why should the state subsidize something like passports, especially in a regime where you have a Ghana card? I mean, proud to the Ghana card, maybe it could make some sense. And I made the point that elsewhere, there are people who have lived all their lives and they do not have a passport because they've not had a need for a passport. If they don't have to travel, they will not go and get a passport. But I raised issues with the steep thing. But it appears that there is some division. The ranking member, the lawyer Piakubi, the Honorable Piakubi, has addressed the media. The Deputy Foreign Minister has also spoken. And it appears that they disagree with your views on the passport. Are you, as the point you're making, that government should continue subsidizing the cost of passports?
Well, thank you for the opportunity, and let me extend warm regards to our viewers. So it is important to emphasize that the whole notion that passports should be reserved for a certain elite category of Ghanaians is what I disagree with. Passports are not a privilege. Mm-hmm. Passports should not be reserved for the wealthy, for those who are rich or who belong to a certain class in society. I vehemently oppose that notion. That has been put at the center of this discussion, and we have to dispel that and demolish it with all the force we can muster. There are thousands of students who on a yearly basis get admissions, full scholarship admissions. All they have to do is show up at an embassy with a passport. I would not classify those students as wealthy Ghanaians. Many of them actually get those scholarships because they have made a case that they are brilliant but needy. They are not in elite families who have the means to afford those scholarships. And that is why they have been awarded those scholarships. Those category of Ghanaians are not wealthy. Then you have those who because of medical conditions, may have to be flown out. You and I know that there are so many medical conditions that we are still building capacity as a country. And there are times that it is advised that you seek experts, medical attention outside. In those circumstances, I wouldn't say that it's a luxury. Passports become a luxury commodity. As ranking member of the Foreign Affairs Committee, there have been times that families have approached us that, look, our relative abroad is in some difficulty or the other. They need a relative to show up there. It could even be deceased, come process and have your body. They are not wealthy. So this whole notion that suddenly passports have become such a rare, wealthy piece of document that should be reserved for a certain privileged few must be demolished. That's the first point I want to emphasize. Then the second point, which really just leaves me outraged, is the way and manner the Ministry for Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration went about this.
How did they go
The
about
bad faith, the undermine of Parliament, and particularly the Foreign Affairs Committee. That is why I am so livid about the approach. You don't treat Parliament, you don't treat your committee according to the standing orders of Parliament, the committee that has oversight. Your first point of call is the Foreign Affairs Committee. I hold in my hands here the verbatim report of the proceedings of the Foreign Affairs Committee of Parliament, dated 12 December 2023. And this verbatim report becomes very, very crucial because during the week, I have been subjected to a barrage of attacks. Some have said that I supported this in secrecy at the committee level, behind the scenes. My public objection to this is hypocritical. I'm exhibiting double standards. I've been called all kinds of names. But the verbatim report, what transpired at the Foreign Affairs Committee, will settle this cause. So, during the consideration of the estimates for the Foreign Ministry for the 2024 fiscal year, the ministry appeared before our committee. And Doc, it was at this committee meeting on the 12th of December 2023 that the ministry raised this matter of increasing passport application fees for the first time. And I'm going to read, with your permission, extracts from this verbatim report. So this is Mr. Amprechum Sapong, Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs, speaking. The Foreign Minister walked in later when you read the transcripts, the verbatim report. He says, and I quote, "The ministry is going to appear before Parliament on the issue of passport fees, and I hope that when the time comes, we will look at it. The supply of our passport is bulk press. They also supply same to Liberia. Liberia charges $40 for their biometric, and as we speak, it is under review. In Ghana, we pay about $8 per booklet. Mr. Chairman, indulge me because this is a key area. In the whole West African region, Ghana's passport is the cheapest at $7.76, followed by Liberia, $40, Benin is $50, Burkina Faso is $80. It goes on and on. Then I interject. This is Mr. Blackwell. Mr. Chairman, I want the Honorable Deputy Minister to guide me. All the countries he has listed, are they using the same biometric and not chip embedded passport? This is very important because I have seen a lot of this generalization. They pick countries and just how much they are charging and they are comparing. But you have to compare like with like. We don't all use the same kind of passports. Some are ahead using chip embedded passports. We are really behind the world using biometric passports. That's what we are using in Ghana. So you can understand that ours will be cheaper. And this is the minister's response. The Deputy Minister, Honorable Aprechum, says, no. So these countries they are comparing us with, they are not using the same passports. Then he continues, but that is why I said that Ghana and Liberia use the same supplier, which is bulk press. It is important because we are coming to members. Then the Honorable Dixon Adumako Kisi, a good friend, interjects and says, you will need his support. That's referring to the support of the NDC side. Then the Honorable Aprechum Sapon comes back. He says, he has already given his support. I have had about 5 meetings with him. Then Patrick Buama, who is shocked, says, oh, really? He has given his support. Then I come in. I said, Mr. Chairman, for the record, I told him to bring the proposal so we can assess it. I do not want colleagues to say that I have committed when we have not discussed this matter. Unquote. Then the chairman steps in. That's the Honorable Andy Appiah Kubi. Honorable members, the Honorable Deputy Minister is seeking our support to move this process. Indeed, it cannot be said that the Ghanaian passport goes for $8 when we cannot break even and others are selling it at a higher price. If we want to continue giving passports to our citizens, they will have to pay commensurate fees for it. A passport is not something everyone uses. You will need it when you want to use it. So I am sure the committee is not divided on this position. We will need to provide passports and they must attract commensurate fees so that our agency can continue to provide the service. If the agency is unable to provide the service, it will mean that not every applicant can get a passport. Then I come back as I'm about to conclude. So Ukuja Tuablakwa comes here. I say, Mr. Chairman, I would like to appeal that we go step by step. At this point, we do not have a specific proposal before us. If we go ahead of ourselves and commit the committee, what if they bring $200 or $300 later? We can all appreciate the compelling case that the Deputy Minister has made. However, let us have their proposal. Are we going to have one quantum leap or will it be graduated? Let us have something before us, then we can commit. So the chairman comes in and gives the final ruling. Mr. Chairman is speaking now, says, all right, this was something that we threw in, but let us prepare our minds to expect this. And when it comes, all of us should appreciate the problems we have and solve it. Director of Passports, kindly go on. So this is what transpired at the Foreign Affairs Committee. The matter was not concluded. The ministry agreed that they will go put together their proposals and come before us properly. Only for us to hear later that they have bypassed the Foreign Affairs Committee, taking advantage of the fees and charges LI, and just smuggled it in there when the Foreign Affairs Committee was waiting for their proposal. Doc, do you know that this business of subsidy, and you made reference to it, do you know that as a ranking member on the Foreign Affairs Committee, I cannot vouch for this claim?
How?
Because if you go through all the budget estimates, line by line, of the Foreign Ministry, throughout the 7 years I've served on the committee, you will not see a single year that there is passport subsidy there. So I ask the question, where is the subsidy coming from? You see, inherent in our passport application fees structure is a certain cross-subsidy. So you see, the wealthy category of applicants who ask for premium service, VIP service, expedited service, who ask for bigger passports, the 48-page booklet, which is higher than the 32-page booklet which goes for every ordinary Ghanaian. They pay more, far more. And my understanding always, and I spoke to the Honorable Hanatete about this, the former foreign minister, is that that is what is used to subsidize the rest.
So you're saying that you have not seen.
I haven't seen
anywhere in the budget of the
Ministry of Foreign Affairs,
even when they meet you as a committee,
yes,
to say that we need X amount of money
to subsidize
because maybe it cost us Y
exactly
to pay for the passports and we get X in terms of the costing.
Exactly.
You've not seen it.
Never seen it. It doesn't exist.
Now, in making a case for this increment, did the ministry not make that case? No, so, apart from the comparison with how much other countries pay, did they not do an analysis of how much it costs?
So they didn't. So you see, they just raised this matter on the sidelines of the budget approval for the 2024 fiscal year. Mm-hmm. They were not prepared. That is why we concluded, if you look at the verbatim report, that they have to go and prepare and come back to us. That's a separate matter we must consider. And they agreed. That was the agreement, that they will come back so that they bring this analysis. Because I asked, if you read this verbatim report, I'm hearing subsidies for the first time. What is that figure? They can't tell us. If you ask any Foreign Affairs Committee member now, today, how much ballpark figure? Is it 10 million, 20 million, 100 million, 1 billion that government claims to be spending on subsidizing passports? Nobody can tell you.
Let me find something out from you. And it's also good that we have an experienced MP here, a former MP here as well. Now, the fees and charges, government fees and charges, are approved by Parliament.
Yes.
So, for example, when we had the controversy with respect to the dialysis unit, Kolebu made a case that, look, this is how much we charge. This is how much it costs to get in the dialysis.
The dialysis consumables.
Yes, the consumables. This is how much it costs.
Yeah.
And so, if this is how much we're charging and this is how much it costs us, there is this gap. We either must adjust the price or somebody must pay for that difference. And that, for me, was the basis for asking for the increment in the fees and, of course, the charges. Now, I would expect that for every government agency or institution that is covered by these fees and charges, that makes a case to Parliament for an increment, that there will be a justification. And that justification, one of the key things will be the issue of the cost as against the price, as a basis for.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
And are you saying that in the case of the passport, this has not been done?
It's not been done. It's not been done.
So how can Parliament approve
It's not been done. It's not. That is why we stood it down. This verbatim report is here. That is why at the Foreign Affairs Committee, we stood this down.
So how did they pass?
And the chairman's ruling was that they should go and come back later. Because if you ask me today, as ranking member of the Foreign Affairs Committee, how much is that subsidy? I can't tell you. How much does it cost to print a passport? I can't tell you. And you know what is worse, Doc? For almost 10 years, Ghana has been preparing to introduce a chip embedded passport. These current increments, is it for the existing biometric passports, which appears to be the case, which we are fading out? The foreign minister has announced that in 6 months, she is hoping that we will introduce the chip embedded passports, which Ghana should have done many years ago. The Honorable Hannah Tete had almost concluded the process, but of course, procurement wranglings and all of that, and this regime was set to, set all of us back. Now, will this new fee structure be reviewed, or is this being done in anticipation? It's just a mess. So, on these matters, you must present all the facts. Be transparent. Let us know what the issues are. Come properly before us. But this business of, exhibiting bad faith. You come to the Foreign Affairs Committee, the matter is stood down, we raise concerns. You notice that in my submission, I was even asking that if even after you brought us the financials, the analysis and all of that, and there has to be an increment, will it be graduated? Or it will be a one-off in just one fell swoop? We asked all these questions. And it was clear that we are not there yet. Then, when you walk out of this committee, you go and take advantage of the fees and charges and just smuggle in these figures. And you see, the Honorable and the Apia Kubi is the only one who had the advantage of having sat at the Foreign Affairs Committee as chairman, and he's a member of subsidiary legislation. He should have brought it to the attention as subsidiary legislation that this matter has not been properly discussed. The Foreign Affairs Committee has not delved into it. We are not convinced that a case has been made, and even if it should go up, by what quantums? How should the increment be? At a time that Ghanaians are faced with a cost of living crisis, unprecedented. For the first time, we are going through a domestic debt exchange program. It's never happened in our country's history. Is this a time that you should be just increasing passports? With this model, you couldn't even consider a graduated approach. As we recommended, that even after you brought the financials and we have considered, and we think that you've made a case, that should be the path forward. So, bad faith. The matter is not concluded. So, you see, the shabbiness and shadiness with which, some public officials attend to their work is nauseating. It's unacceptable. And we all know that when these allies are laid, another matter that people have said, so they dribbled the Foreign Affairs Committee, went to subsidiary legislation, and the ally was laid. Why didn't you rise and stop it? Again, with all due respect, a certain lack of ignorance. When an ally is laid, one man, can't stand up and stop it. You need 2/3 of members of parliament. That is the constitution. That is the law of the land. When an ally is laid, it's a moving train. The only way you can stop it is to marshal 2/3 of MPs. NDC MPs are not 2/3. So 137, 137 is the composition of the House. So this business that, it was laid, we didn't see him standing up to stop it. There should have been some Hercules rising up in the middle of the chamber, stopping this airline. It's not possible. So this is a lot of hubris out there. And we need to cut all of that out. Look, the government may have a case that there is the need for some increments. It's not been done in a long time. They probably slept on the job and for more than 7 years have not paid attention to passport application fees. But why punish the people for that? For your sloppiness and your lack of industry and enterprise at your job. The other matter about the exchange rate. Why punish Ghanaians for your inability to manage the exchange rate? Why? So other countries have a better exchange rate regime. You do a comparison and then you just come and slap it on Ghanaians. Are you not the ones who said you are better managers of the economy and that you understand the fundamentals really of the economy? It's about managing the exchange rate. You were waxing lyrical in opposition. So why punish Ghanaians because of your inability to manage the exchange rate? It doesn't make sense to me. So this whole approach has been bundled, it's been handled horribly. There's even no empathy. And if you listen to how ministers are talking, look, it's becoming too much. The insults, the condescension, the denigration. The last time the energy minister told us we can go and create our own timetable if we think that doing so is disturbing us. I mean, the cheek of it. How do you talk to... sovereignty resides in the people. Without the people, you don't have political power. Now listen to all the foreign ministers. If you can buy tickets are expensive. You can buy tickets, you should be able to pay anything for passports. You don't talk to citizens like that when they are complaining, when they are saying that what you have done is excessive. You don't do that. Right. Others say that, if you... passports are not compulsory. If you can't pay, stay away from it. Don't talk like that. Don't talk like that. So, we at the Foreign Affairs Committee, particularly the NDC MPs, we are outraged. And when the House resumes, we will be summoning the minister. Why do you exhibit such bad faith? The matter was not concluded. You said you were going to come back. That's what the verbatim report of 12 December 2023, that was the conclusion. You were going to come back before us, to come with your financials. This so-called subsidy, what is the figure? Is it true? Then we look at the numbers. All these countries you are comparing us with, they are not using the same passports. And then in printing, some of the countries they list, you know the population. So Benin, Togo, a lot of these countries are not even up to the size of Accra. You know that the more you print, the lesser the cost and all of that. We know these things. As I conclude, the elephant in the room is also procurement. Do you know that, Doc, this whole passport printing business, we don't really open it up and let it be competitive. And that is at the bane of a lot of the costs, the things that things that we have to pay more for in this country. We could be paying less if we do competitive tendering, if we allow the procurement process to be competitive. We don't want to talk about these things. Why should it be that, except just one entity? This is reserved for them. It is their gig. We are carving out this country. And when we come to digitalization, you see some of these things. Carving out this country for certain business interests. Why? And then it is the ordinary Ghanaian who suffers. Why can't we open up the process? Let's have a competitive... Were these people not the ones who promised us that when they come, they will end the era of sole sourcing, the era of single sourcing? All these matters should be looked at. We were expecting that they will bring all of these matters, the full gamut of issues, holistically. Then we do the analysis. Look at procurement. If it's competitive, what will we get from it? Certainly there will be more value for money. Competition will drive down prices. But there's no competition. So there are so many issues that we need to discuss about this matter. The matter is not properly brought to Parliament. It has not been crystallized. Then you just smuggle it into an airline, knowing that once you lay the airline, 21 days, it matures. You present Parliament with a fait accompli. You treat your committee shabbily. And you want us to support you, to cooperate with you. I won't take this disrespect as ranking member on the Foreign Affairs Committee.
All right. We need your experience.
I've been trying to understand Samuel Kudjeto's anger.
Okay.
I can't see what...
You didn't get it at the tail end.
No, throughout his submission, I'm trying to see what he's talking about. I don't get it. He says that people that's the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, they didn't come properly before Parliament. How is that possible? How did they get it through? I don't understand it. Even if you haven't been...
You didn't hear me when I read the verbatim report of the proceedings of the committee.
No. So where did they go? They went to subsidiary committee, legislation committee. That committee is actually the committee where the minority, Samuel Kudjeto's colleagues, have a majority. That is the committee where the chairman is a member of the minority. They are in charge of subsidiary legislation. And that is where they went to. And the entire Parliament, even the committee cannot approve or disapprove. It has to come to the entire Parliament. So when you say the people didn't come properly before Parliament, what are you talking about? When you say they've been shabby, they've been not sitting and using this term to describe the ministry because you said they didn't come properly before. Where did they go? Did they go to the Council of State? They went before Parliament. So I don't understand this business of they've smuggled. How can the ministry smuggle something before Parliament? Parliament is chaired by a speaker who is a member of the minority. So this effort to denigrate the ministry and Parliament, I don't understand it. Or you believe that it should come before your committee, the Foreign Affairs Committee. Even if it comes before the Foreign Affairs Committee, that committee is chaired by the member of the majority.
Yes.
And the majority of the members of that committee are members of the majority. So I would think that for accountability purposes, the subsidiary legislation where the chairman is a member of the minority and the majority of the members on that committee is a committee that is also placed to consider these things. But it would eventually come before the entire House.
In what form?
The committee will make its recommendation.
So like they present a report,
Yes.
not the laying of an LI.
If it's laid before Parliament, it goes to a committee. And if the committee doesn't have any objection, the entire Parliament will just let it go. Samia Okudze's beef, if I understand him, I'm trying to understand, is that it should have come before the Foreign Affairs Committee.
It came before us. They
Yes.
brought it. The minister.
Before the Foreign Affairs
Yes.
Committee. And then later, who took it to subsidiary?
And it was not concluded. They were to come back with the financials, the analysis,
no
and
problem.
all of that.
And,
This came on subsidies.
and later, who took it to subsidiary committee?
Whilst we were waiting for them to come back to
Yes.
us,
Yes.
then we heard that they've gone to the subsidiary legislation. The ministry took it to the subsidiary legislation committee.
Does the ministry have the leverage to go to the committee they like?
Yeah, that's what is the. This is a mandate from the executive. So that's what they did.
Samia Okudze.
Yes, that's what happened.
Samia Okudze. Let's not fight. Does
We are not fighting.
Does the executive have the leverage to choose some committee that they like in Parliament?
When it comes to LIs, they are bringing fees and charges LI. They would be advised where to take it. So that's what they did.
No. Can the executive say that as for this thing, we are taking it to this committee?
That's what happened
The
in this
matters
case.
before Parliament, I refer to committees by the Speaker.
This matter was not referred.
So
To the subsidiary legislation by the
just hold on a
Speaker.
minute. Just hold on a minute. When it comes to fees and charges, the subsidiary legislation committee is the one that is clothed with jurisdiction. Is that
Yes.
so? Oh,
Yes.
Nana? Okay. Now, Sami is saying that the Foreign Affairs Committee came before them
Yes.
on
Yes.
a lot of issues. Now, this issue of the increment in passports then came up there. And at the committee level, they asked questions. And the promise was that they were going to get back to them
Yes.
on those issues. And that the chair, from what he read,
Yeah.
the chairman himself, that was the conclusion.
Yes.
That the ministry was going to come back to them with a justification
For the increase.
for the increase.
For the increase.
Okay.
Yes.
So it wasn't as if this meeting was specifically for the increase.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was for
For
other
all
things.
kinds of issues.
Yes.
But the issue of the increase came up
Yes.
from the ministry itself. And then the members asked questions, including yourself.
Yeah.
And then the decision was that they should come back
Yeah.
with a justification. And then the committee will take a decision.
Exactly. Yeah. This is what the chairman said.
Now, your point is that this comeback has not happened.
Yes.
The justification has not happened as far as your committee is concerned.
Exactly.
But the increment in fees and charges, which is handled by the subsidiary legislation committee, has happened.
Yes.
They've gone there. Whether they made a justification or they've gone there.
Yeah.
The committee has looked at it. The committee has presented it to Parliament.
Laid their LI.
Yes, and then it's gone through.
Yes. After 21 days, it's
Yes.
matured.
Yes.
Yes. Meanwhile, Foreign Affairs Committee is still waiting.
So legally and procedurally, the ministry may not have done wrong because they've gone through the appropriate channel for fees and charges. But
Technically.
your point is that your committee
Let's
and
do
yourself,
things, yes. Let's do things properly.
you've been shortchanged and
Exactly.
you've been undermined. And,
Yes. We've been undermined.
Okay.
Yes.
Your-
And,
That is
and
that
the
is
fact
the
that
point.
you are being accused
Yes.
of having sat there
Yes,
in the committee. when
yes.
it's-
Some were saying that we even approved
So-
this secretly, and we didn't ask these questions that we are asking
So-
publicly, which are all
So
blatant lies.
we have established that the ministry did not smuggle anything.
They were supposed
They-
to
they-
come back to the Foreign Affairs
This
Committee.
were supposed. I don't understand it.
Let me-
Supposed by who?
This is the chairman's ruling on the matter. Do you want to hear
the
it?
chairman of the committee?
Of the Foreign Affairs Committee?
Who took it to the subsidiary committee?
The minister.
The minister has the leverage to take a report or a business of the ministry to any committee they like. Is that what happens? The executive, when they bring anything to Parliament, they decide that as for this matter, we are taking it, we brought appointments. As for this one, we are taking it to the Committee on Labour.
No, but Nana,
I don't get you.
Because your effort to say that the ministry had smuggled something
Are you telling me
and they've
that
gone to some
that
committee they like, that is not what happens in Parliament. Any reference to a committee is done by the Speaker.
on the basis of the
And
jurisdiction
we
of that
have
committee.
established, we have established that when it comes to fees and charges, it is this committee that handles it, and it's gone to that committee. Okay. So what's your problem?
So Nana, are you not worried? Are you also not worried?
Nana, I'm so disappointed.
There is a committee that has oversight over a ministry.
Yeah.
The ministry goes before the committee. The issue of the intention to increase the fees comes up. The committee asks for a justification. The ministry is unable to provide it at that point. The ruling on the matter by the chair, which was not opposed to by the ministry, was that come back and furnish us with a justification. That has not been done. However, the application for the increment in fees and charges has been made to Parliament, it's gone to the relevant committee, it's been approved. Are you not worried about what has happened at the Foreign Affairs Committee?
There is absolutely no worry.
Okay.
It went before the appropriate committee of Parliament. The ministry cannot choose a committee like we have established. It is that committee that is seized with the responsibility of dealing with fees and charges, not the Foreign Affairs Committee. Not the Foreign Affairs Committee. And indeed, when they went before, unless you want to say that that committee did a shoddy job, when they went before that committee, didn't they provide justification? I would be surprised if you went to that committee with to approve new fees and charges and they wouldn't ask you for justification. So I don't understand why Samuel Kujeto says that because he hasn't come to Foreign Affairs, there's some underhand, shady, shabby, and so
it was not concluded.
Now,
if your argument is anything to go by, why did the ministry present this to us? Why did they make the proposal to us?
And so when they presented it to you, who took the matter to subsidiary? So the proper procedure has been followed.
As far as fees and charges are concerned.
How has that been followed?
As far as fees and charges are concerned, this your effort to beat the ministry and ascribe bad motives is so sad. It's unfortunate. You haven't been fair to the ministry.
It is your analysis which is unfortunate and unfair.
It is based on facts. The committee that is seized with the responsibility dealt with it.
Your oversight committee has ruled on the matter. That come back. You agree. This is the Honorable Amprechum speaking. It says the ministry is going to appear before Parliament on this issue.
Can I finish?
And I hope that when the time comes, you will give us your support.
Okay.
That is the ministry's response.
1 second. I think with my little
this is bad faith.
But on the part of who?
The ministry.
Because they took it to subsidiary.
Yeah, why the rush? If you have nothing to hide, why the rush?
It says to the extent that they promise the committee.
Yes, that you will come back to us.
But if they promise
why the rush?
What stops them from coming back? They will come back.
After the fact.
The action they took.
After the LI has matured.
It's not even the ministry.
After the LI has matured.
It's not even the ministry that took the action. The ministry cannot on its own volition go to subsidiary. Can they do that?
That's what they did in this instance.
No, can they do that?
That is what the record shows.
If the matter hasn't been referred.
That's what they did.
So with your experience in Parliament, you are telling us.
That's what they did.
You are asking us to believe that the executive can bring something to Parliament and take it to a committee they like. How is that possible?
No, but the job description of every committee is clear-cut.
Listen, yes.
So if the executive presents something about appointments,
yes,
it will be presented to Parliament, but it is for the appointments committee.
Yes, and if they present something on fees and charges, it will go to the fees and charges committee.
Yes.
Yes. You may have an interest in it because of your oversight.
Yes.
But the appropriate committee to deal with fees and charges is where it went to. So where is the bad faith? Where is all this
the bad description? The issue of bad faith. That's why when I tried to summarize the thing, what I said was that the ministry would have gone through what is legally the due process.
Yeah.
Fees and charges. It sends to Parliament, it goes to subsidiary legislation, they do it. But to the extent that the ministry itself went to raise it at the oversight committee, they were asked questions about it. they decided that they will come back. In fact, they went to raise that because they were soliciting the support of the oversight committee.
Yeah.
And then the ruling at the committee level was that you come back with a justification. So that we can then... Yes.
The Foreign Affairs Committee does not have the power to approve his entry.
Not for approval.
Nobody has said that.
So even when they come to you with justification or whatever, you still don't have the power. So the best thing that, and this is where the government of the matter is, the best thing in my view that the speaker could have done was refer the matter to a joint committee.
Well, that's not done.
So,
I'm told that the fees and charges is some.
I'm saying, so it shouldn't go to Foreign Affairs. But if Foreign Affairs, because of their oversight, and it's about this thing, the speaker could say on this matter, let there be a joint committee. The speaker refers matters to joint committees, ad hoc committees, and so on. But you don't blame the Ministry of underhand dealing and shabbiness and all of that when they've gone through the right procedure. So and the matter that went to the subsidiary, it's not the ministry that went to subsidiary.
So then if you hear officials of the ministry and members of the majority side on the committee, on the basis of Okudzeto's objection, say that the issue came to committee. The committee secretly approved it. It was unanimously approved. The issue was
Which committee?
Foreign Affairs Committee.
Okay.
Yeah,
if you hear
who says so?
That's what they were saying. That look, what he's saying, he had the opportunity of raising it. The issue even came before the committee. The committee secretly approved it and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, and then he has this document.
No, so the people who are saying so are mistaken because they imagine that the Foreign Affairs Committee is the committee that is seized with the responsibility. That's why when Okudzeto spoke, so but you are there. But it's not the Foreign Affairs Committee. It is the subsidiary legislation. And you see what is funny about this matter is the subsidiary legislation committee is a committee chaired by the NDC. The majority of the members on that committee are NDC. So if even I am a minister and I want something done for me, I would prefer a committee and I prefer a committee chaired by the NPP. And the Foreign Affairs Committee is chaired by the NPP. Yeah, the majority of them is chaired by the NPP.
It doesn't approve.
But is it so? But you see, that's not even my main point is that I can be partial to the call that the increment from 100 cedis to 500 cedis. That's 400% or so. It's steep.
500, 5 times.
Yeah, 500% coming at once is steep. And so maybe if I had been graduated, it would have been easier for the applicants. That would be fair. An increment of 500% in one soup, even if it's from 2 cities to 4 cities, it's it's 100. It's in terms of percentage, it's huge. But what are we talking about? We're talking about cost recovery.
Has a case been made for that?
Of what figure? You see?
Cost
recovery of what figure?
No, but Sami Okudzeto, you said earlier that you don't even know.
Yes.
1 second. You don't even know if there is a subsidy.
It says it's not seen in the last 7
years. But the fact that you haven't seen doesn't mean that there's no subsidy.
You give it to us.
Yeah, so you can ask for it in the budget.
We did.
Yes. But, Randy, all you have to do is to interrogate the printer.
Explain that.
The printer who is printing the passport booklets.
Why do you interrogate?
He says it's 400 cities. You can bring him to your committee.
It depends on
because
the contract and the contract you have with him and how he was procured.
The ministry is saying, no, you are interested in subsidy. Subsidy means that the service is being charged at below cost.
Shouldn't it start from, for example, the ministry telling us that it cost us X amount to print a booklet and we charge Y amount. So there is always this gap which we subsidize.
But the ministry has said so. The ministry has said it costs 400 cedis to print a booklet. And we charge 100. So for every booklet that is given out, there's a subsidy of 300 cedis.
So how is that subsidy?
Where is the
paid
evidence?
How is it paid?
Yes.
And Samuel Kujato is saying that he's not aware of that.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that the ministry says that the printer charges 400 cedis. So you can just interrogate the printer. Bring your costs. And let's see if indeed you are charging 400 cedis. Because the ministry is saying the booklet is 400 cedis, and we are adding 100 cedis for administration. I have said that the 500% is steep,
At a go.
but at a go. But you see, for the average passport applicant, you want to get your passport without hassle. Today, as we speak, unless there are some really powerful people like you, like me, who have some of your power, and Samuel Kujato, who's the standing ranking member on Foreign Affairs, very powerful.
Yes. I'm not powerful.
Otherwise, the ordinary.
I can't even get the subsidy figure for passports. I'm not powerful, I beg you. I'm struggling for information. Please. Don't come and give me powers I don't have. I'm being undermined and treated with contempt.
Please record it.
You say I'm
Samuel
powerful.
Kujato being modest.
Oh, please.
Oh, yes, okay.
Oh,
Wonders
please.
happen. We are still in Easter.
I have no power, clearly.
Now, the problem is that getting your passport is fraught with so many difficulties. I remember the minister, Yokobotre, going to the passport office to really was very upset. And when I saw the clip, I said, what is the minister talking about? When you have that difference, the Goro business will thrive. It's just common sense. If you don't close the gap, and your people, you don't have the booklets because you are not recovering costs, the Goro market will thrive. Everywhere, if you do that, the Goro market will thrive. So when the cost of producing a passport is 450 cedis, let's say, and you are charging 100 cedis, you will not be able to generate money to buy the passport booklets and do all the administrative things to meet the demand. And when you happen so, what have you done? You have created a market for the Goro. This is simple common sense. You create a market for the Goro business. Ask yourself, the Goro boys who will give you a passport in one day if you pay them 1,000 cedis. Which people sign those passports? It's the same officials who will give you 3 months. And they are signing passports that go through in one day. It's the same people. So when I heard the minister expressing the anger, I'm like, but why wouldn't she look at the signatures on those?
It's called misplaced aggression.
One day. And that's what Samuel Kujato is doing this month. You know, take the one-day passports and look at the signatures. Signatures of people will be there. And ask them, how are you able to sign passports, the application of which is just 2 days? Ask them. The signatures are there. The Goro boys, they don't sign their passports themselves. So what you need is to recover the cost. An essential public service, which I can understand government trying to do some subsidy, but not passports. Of course, passport is not for the privilege, like Sami said. And Sami mentioned, people will be sick and you need, that's the more reason why the system should be that you can get your passport on time. So, what we need to do,
you believe that the price increment will lead to?
That's what I'm saying. What we need to do, Sami Okujeto and his collaborators, where they need to focus their energy, is to, and this is where their oversight will be useful, to get the ministry to commit to a charter that will say you pay your 500 cedis. Is it 2 days, 1 week? The applicant is given 1 week. They get their passport in 1 week. If that service charter fails, you would have to hold the ministry or the passport office accountable. So that if the committee with a powerful ranking member like it can open their arms so that Ghanaians can
has been dribbled, you are calling him powerful.
You say it's been what?
It's been dribbled and you are calling him powerful.
Who dribbled?
The one sitting at his committee waiting for them to come back.
He believes.
So he can interrogate figures.
No. He believes he has been dribbled.
Actually, you should add Poso to the dribbling.
Chief, you are playing number 4. Listen, no. No. Come on. You are playing number 4. The attacker takes the ball to number 3 and dribbles number 3.
Yes.
If you like. How does that go?
What's number 4?
Then you say, oh, you should have brought. You haven't been dribbled. It's you who believe that the ball didn't pass your side. No.
But the ball came. I had the ball. And we all agreed that referee has blown the whistle. So,
do you know of the dummy pass?
Oh my goodness.
So,
damage.
You should watch more football and see how the Messis and how they do. So Samuel Pieto has not been dribbled. He believes that the ball should have come to him, and then the ball went to number 3. But for me, I'm all of this. Let's speak for the applicant, the Ghanaian citizen. The turmoil they go through to get a passport. And recently, a close relative of mine wanted a passport. And she came and told me that they said she should come back in 3 months. And she wanted my intervention. And of course, I had intended. I asked her what we said, oh yeah, we are going to this function. It's going to take place, so 3 months will be 8. I had the intention to see what I could do. But I got distracted. And I think they went somewhere else. And they got it on time. Thousands of applicants are going through this. Because when you go and you pay your 100, they give you a time that the passport will be ready. Isn't it? 3 months, 4 months. Maybe yours is a medical issue. It's a meeting that's going to take place in another 3 weeks. Your interest is that if they say pay 500 cedis, you get your passport in 1 week. That becomes the charter that should be enforced. And if the Committee of Foreign Affairs, having oversight, can open their arms so citizens can go to the committee and say, this is my receipt, I paid my 500 cedis, this is where I'm supposed to get my passport in 1 week, I didn't get it. Then all of us will support the committee in calling the passport office or the ministry and dealing with them. The interest of the public is to ensure that the hassle is taken out. Passport. And I'm saying, if you price this thing, unless, of course, we want to subject the pricing, I don't have a problem. But if we take the ministry's word and they are paying 400 and they are selling at 100, it's not going to be sustainable. The black market or the Goro system thrive. That's what is happening. So the interest now is to make sure that now that the ministry says that these are the realistic fees, we have to ensure that they live up to their responsibility to deliver the service, the passport.
So the Honorable Kofi Adams, MP for Buem, he sends this one. He says, until our last meeting, is he a member of the Foreign Affairs Committee? Kofi Adams, okay. It says or is in subsidiary legislation. It says, until our last meeting, the chairman of Foreign Affairs Committee, Honorable Andy Appiah-Kubi, was the ranking of the Subsidiary Legislation Committee. Currently, he is a member of the Subsidiary Legislation Committee. Considering his ruling on the matter, when it came before the Foreign Affairs Committee, that the ministry must come again and his subsequent defense of the hike in passport fees suggests the chair failed in getting his committee to play its oversight role. Usually,
the chair of which one?
The chair of Foreign Affairs.
It says that until our last meeting, the chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee, so the Kofi must be a member of subsidiary legislation. It says, until our last meeting, the chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee, Honorable Andy Apiakubi, was the ranking of subsidiary legislation committee. Currently, he is a member of subsidiary legislation. Considering his ruling on the matter when it came before the Foreign Affairs Committee, that the ministry must come again, and his subsequent defense of the hike in passport fees suggests the chair failed in getting his committee to play its oversight role. Usually, before matters get to subsidiary legislation committee, the committee with oversight of the relevant ministry or agency is first seized with the matter. And when they are satisfied with the principles and reasoning, it gets laid and referred to the subsidiary legislation for consideration. Clearly, the relevant committee with oversight did not conclude its work.
Yeah, brilliant.
Brilliant. No. What is Kofi Adams talking about? Two things.
It was getting to my turn.
Two things. If the committee with oversight has to deal with the matter first, and I'm just thinking, and then after that is referred to the committee when it's fees and charges. And if the committee with oversight, which is Foreign Affairs, with the ranking member being the powerful Samuel Kujeto, they haven't finished with the matter and the principles. Who referred it to subsidiary? Who referred it to subsidiary? Because the ministry on their own cannot go to subsidiary without the reference. Number two, this business, he was talking about Andy Apiakubi. Now, what was the matter that Andy Apiakubi raised at the Foreign Affairs Committee? The justification.
Yes, that the ministry should come back to the committee. Yes.
When they went to subsidiary, didn't they offer justification?
No.
From
what we have gathered.
Even me sitting outside Parliament, I have heard their justification. That a booklet costs 400 cedis. Me, sitting outside, I've heard it.
I guess the point Kofi is making is that to the extent that the chairman made that ruling at the Foreign Affairs Committee and he sits on subsidiary legislation, and the ministry had not come back to the oversight committee.
He should have told them that the matter
he should have told them that, look,
Yeah.
when you came before the oversight, this was the decision. You were supposed to come back with your justification. You didn't do that.
Once Apiakubi is not here.
Oh, yes.
So we're just looking. But I'm saying that Apiakubi, as chairman of Foreign Affairs, he asked for justification. He went to, he's also a member of subsidiary. And, I'm sure there are a few more members who are cross members of this committee. He would not be
the only one.
It would be like 2 or 3 or 4.
I think he's the only one. The Foreign Affairs Committee is the only one there.
In but he's there in a very big way because he's chairman of Foreign Affairs, the oversight committee. So if there was any lack of information or whatever, he would have brought it up at the subsidiary committee. But from what you yourself have told us, what you wanted was justification. And when the ministry went before the subsidiary, they offered justification. In fact, it would be amiss on the part of the subsidiary legislation committee, chaired by the NDC, majority members of the NDC, not to ask for justification.
All right, okay.
So
let's just wrap up on this one. We need to take a break here.
Yeah, so very quickly, let me emphasize that in this country, we like to make simple governance matters look like witchcraft.
That's what you are doing.
That's what Nana Kumia is doing.
Mimo.
Look, what will...
You're making a
Please, can I... What will be amiss? What will go wrong if your oversight committee has ruled, come back to us, bring your justification? Don't you think that if you had done that before going to subsidiary legislation, even the policy credibility crisis you are having today would have been avoided? The mistrust. And you see, when you are in the governance space, it's not only about you and your opponents.
I don't understand. What is that?
You know,
what is that?
This whole policy to increase the passport application fees.
Yeah.
It lacks credibility. You have not got the public behind you.
And if you had come before
there's public outrage.
One second.
Please, can I, when you are speaking, please write it down. Write it down.
Question.
Yeah, you write it down, please.
Please,
you keep doing that and you derail my thoughts.
Okay.
Please, I'll give you space.
Sorry, I derail your thoughts.
So,
let me write it.
if you had done that, which is best practice, that is what good governance dictates. That's what happens elsewhere. All these democracies we admire. Because they respect structures, respect institutions, respect the people. If you had come back, brought your justification, brought your financials, this claim of subsidies, you brought evidence. Nana says he's sitting outside, he has heard. You just heard that it costs us 400, but we are. Where is the evidence? I asked Nana, has he seen any evidence of that effect? Doc, do you know that in this discussion we are having, all these claims are fallacious?
Why?
Because the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has signed a contract with Bulk Press many years ago. It is that contract that they are applying.
Which year was this?
It is that contract.
No, do you remember which year?
I don't have the contract here, so I don't want to get it wrong. But many years ago. And they themselves said it when they came to us. I remember the earlier quotation. They said it, and they said that Amprechum said that Bulk Press is the one, is it the supplier of our passport is Bulk Press. And they supply same to Liberia. This year. So it is not as if they go and print at current price.
But is the contract, that contract, two things. Let me ask two questions. Is Parliament, and here includes the Oversight Committee, is Parliament seized with a copy of that contract?
No.
Two, is a copy of that contract on the PPA website?
No, I checked. It's not there. And it didn't come to us for approval because they didn't need it's done. They don't need to because it's not an international financial agreement. Yeah. So you have a contract already. So this business, they are talking as if when you apply for passport, then they go and print at the current market rate. Maybe. That is not what happens. We
have not interrogated a contract. We also don't know whether there are some terms in the contract that make for forex losses and adjustments and all that. We don't know.
Yes, we don't know. So that is why we are saying that all of these matters, you come and lay them. Then you see, you get a buy-in.
Let me ask you a question.
There have been instances where you even get bipartisan support. You even have NDC MPs who will even be making the case for you.
So let me ask this question.
But when you keep asking
this question, something has come up, and I want to ask a question related to that as we wind up on this.
Yeah.
Now, where the standing orders does not provide, is not explicit on an issue, what happens? Is the speaker empowered to give directives?
Under the standing orders, is the speaker who must...
This is why I'm asking the question. If I read what Honorable Kofi Adams said and the discussion here, and I'm told that the fees and charges, you have like a huge...
across many sectors.
Yes, that is broad.
Yeah.
Now, shouldn't the standard practice then be that all agencies, the request and justification must go before the relevant committee? And then the relevant committee must present a report to the subsidiary legislation. The subsidiary legislation, if it so wishes, can then invite those agencies or institutions to come before it. Yeah. Before this approval
Moving
is made.
forward, they should be considered and actually, if you like, legislated. Because as Kofi Adams indicated, that really has been the convention. And normally people at subsidiary legislation will always assume that has been done. You know, if they had, I think the only, if you like, slip in this whole matter, this whole development, if our colleagues there had called us, those of us who were Foreign Affairs Committee,
maybe they would have assumed that.
I think they just assumed that once it's come there, the Foreign Affairs Committee has cleared it. Because as Kofi Adams said, normally that's what you will expect. You know, so let's be clear. This matter was not handled properly. They've exhibited bad faith by the ministry and by government. This matter, I'm sure it went to cabinet, the president, how they went about it. You see, as we speak now, all of these claims of subsidy, how is that subsidy paid? Because if you go to the entire budget for all these years...
But you have told us how it's paid. You've told us that there's cross-subsidization.
Good. So
there ought to be further interrogation on the matter.
So you cannot then say that, we are spending taxpayers. If you listen to the Honorable Pierre Kubi at his press conference, he said, why are 80% paying taxes to subsidize some rich 20% who go for passports. Fallacy.
Okay.
Fallacy.
All right.
You know,
Now-
so you see, simple matters. Show good faith. You go to your oversight committee, they say come back. You know, lay down all the facts. Get a buy-in. Then if we can even discuss how we do the increment, graduated. You know, then you see,
Or
that is
maybe the facts presented could
could even
let
say
you
that
support the
yes.
Okay,
And the
all right.
facts could even say that look, we may even have to go beyond this
And do more
when
next
chip
year.
embedded
Okay,
passports come
all
in
right.
and all of that. Then there's no secrecy.
Right.
There's transparency. It doesn't show that you have anything to hide.
Okay.
Finally, let me demolish this Nana Kumia theory that Goro boys are going to vanish because of these increments. It won't happen. What drives the Goro market is the lack of efficiency. In all of this discussion, they are only interested in taking more money. They haven't told us what measures they are going to put in place to remove the bottlenecks.
So he says call them and establish a charter with them. That you can hold them responsible as oversight.
Goro boyism will continue to thrive if there is a backlog. As we speak, there are about 7,000 passports in the backlog. The last time we summoned the director of passports to appear before us. As long as that backlog remains.
And what was the reason he gave for the backlog?
They said their printer broke down. Now the World Bank, they made an appeal to the World Bank. World Bank donated a giant printer to them, but they are waiting for a software.
The passport office's printer.
Yes.
Not the...
No, passport office.
Okay.
Passport office, yeah. And the World Bank has donated a printer to them, but they are waiting for some software. So it comes with some unique software. If you don't address these issues, your Goro boys will still be there.
All right.
So it has nothing really
Maybe the
to
100
do-
cities on top of the 400 will help them.
I mean, so
Okay.
look, let's
Nana, in a minute, let's
Yeah.
wrap
we
up.
are
So
in
let-
a scientific
I've
environment,
been given
a
a minute.
mature democracy. Let's do things properly.
All right, Nana.
What is this mess?
Nana,
Now-
in a minute, yeah.
The Goro boys. They are there. Samuel Kujeto says they are there because inefficiency.
Efficiency.
So,
Backlog.
and what is the reason for the inefficiency? They say they are under recovery. So when their printers break down, they can't repair.
The facts don't support
Now, you have given them what they are asking for. So now they are no more under recovery.
We haven't given them anything. I'm not part of that. I'm
So
not part
Parliament
of
has.
that.
Parliament has.
I'm not part
You
of
are,
that.
you have not resigned
Don't-
as MP. So
Don't add me to it.
Was there a dissenting vote in Parliament?
no.
There was no
There was no vote, actually. When an airline is late, do we vote on
The
airlines?
21 days matured.
Do we vote on airlines? You're an experienced legislator.
Did you talk against it?
Do we talk on
Because,
airlines?
listen.
Do we talk on airlines?
Listen. No.
Let's stop misinforming the general
Two-thirds,
public.
two-thirds.
Airline is just late. It matures after 21 days. That's all. There's no debate. There's no vote.
It's automatic.
Yes, automatic maturity.
Yes, true.
You
That's
don't
why
know that,
Parliament.
Nana.
That's why Parliament has introduced the pre.
The pre-laying, yes.
To deal with some of these
Yes.
issues.
Where does a two-third vote come in?
That's when you want to stop
Yes.
the
That's what I'm
maturity.
Yes. So did you canvass for the stoppage?
Do I have 2/3?
No, but did you canvass for it? How do you get it if you don't canvass for it? How do you get it?
NDC MPs 2/3.
Please. But the committee that approved the
You say you
subsidy-
keep changing. First, did you say anything?
The-
Then did you vote? Then
is
now
it-
it's canvas.
Can I speak?
After canvas,
Can I-
where are we
can I-
going
can I
to?
Can
speak
Nana
small?
speak small?
No, I mean because Nana is all over the place.
You
I don't-
can negate by 2/3.
Okay.
How do you get a 2/3? By advocating for it.
Yeah.
Did you advocate for it? Because what the record will show was that it passed Parliament. There was no voice against it. And in fact, the committee, where the NDC has a majority, there was no dissenting voice. The NDC has a majority and the chairmanship of that committee.
Okay.
Are you saying that those members of the committee, they are not patriotic like you?
Maybe that didn't come to their attention. These
Now-
details, yeah.
Come to the attention.
So this business of the grower, which me is the main issue. Now that you've given them
The money.
the money to recover their cost and make a margin, there should be no excuse for inefficiency. So if you pay your 500, you're supposed to get your passport in 1 week. You have to get your passport in because now you have the money.
Right.
If they fail, You should hold them accountable. That is where your oversight will be useful. Now, some people try to give the impression that if the matter had been dealt with by Foreign Affairs Committee, there will be no public outcry. How is that? How is that?
And you have more credibility, you have legitimacy.
So when it goes to subsidiary, then there's no credibility. There's no legitimacy.
What did they send to subsidiary?
What kind of
no
strange
facts,
things?
no justification.
So
nothing.
the subsidiary committee, which is chaired by a member of your party, cannot do their work to foster credibility. But that's what you are saying. You are saying that if you had your own words,
you didn't listen to what Kofi Adam said. They assume that this has been done at the Parent Oversight Committee.
But if it had been done, didn't they also ask for justification? And if it had been done, did you give them a report that had been done? Why would they assume so? And if the procedure is that you go through the Kofi Adams, you go through your oversight committee, who and if they hadn't done that or completed that process, who referred the matter to the subsidiary committee? So this business that you are coming to play there, so it's difficult to understand.
Yes.
I'm happy. They say the company is Buck Press.
Yes.
I'm happy that a Ghanaian company.
They've been doing it for years.
Many times.
For many years.
A lot of these things. It printed abroad and all of that. I'm happy that it's a Ghanaian company. And Buck Press, of course, is a reputable company. And I'm happy that they are even printing for Liberia and so on. This is the way we should be going.
But I'll be happier with a competitive arrangement.
All right.
So that we drive down prices.
Go and ask for the contract and then check.
All right. Okay. So we'll take a break. When we return, back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. Still with me on the show, I have Nana Akumia and Samuel Kujatua Blackwa. But what does wealth mean to you? Do you want to live like a tycoon? Remember, I was got the mullah, got the power. Ghana's newest lottery game draws live on Adom TV at 9 a.m., 12 noon, and 6 p.m. daily. Now pick up your phones, tablets, and computers and download the Game Park Games app on Play Store. You can also play on the website at www.gameparkgames.com or by dialing *946# on all networks. Just choose 4 numbers from 0 to 9. It's easy to play and easy to win. Charlie, make we play this game and make some mola. Nobody beats out in Ghana. Game Park Games, more mola, more power. This game is regulated by the National Lottery Authority. It's not for persons under 18. Play responsibly. Ayesoko, the Kosombo dam be big, but Betway's cash out be bigger. Betway is giving you more control over every thrilling bet you place. Enjoy the biggest and most reliable cash out in Ghana on Betway without any hassle. Sign up today at betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. Not for persons under 18, and this is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Betway, get way more. And Blue Jeans energy drink has been on the Ghanaian market for over 20 years. We already know what it does for the body. It contains vitamins and nutrients like vitamin B2, B3, B6, B12, as well as taurine and guarana, which are known to boost your strength and energy as well as promote high performance and endurance. Blue Jeans energy drink has been tested and tried. It's indeed the best. Blue Jeans energy drink is for bold and active men and women. So go on, grab a cold can and power your day. It's in shops nationwide. For bulk purchases, contact Budget Cash and Carry Limited on 0208 128 190 055 001 0000. Now, Sammy, there are 2 issues you've raised. I think we can deal with one in about 6 minutes. Okay. That has to do with the immediate past Commissioner General. So you have published 2 letters, and Annie put those 2 letters on. And we actually saw publications on the 27th of March indicating that the Commissioner General has been relieved of his position.
Yeah.
And that a lady, I think Mrs. Julie, the last name, I'm not getting right, has been appointed as the acting Commissioner General. That was on the 27th of March. Now, there was something that happened prior to this. Let's watch this video from the Public Accounts Committee.
Okay.
Yes.
Sir, which year did you attain the age of 60? CJ, I'm waiting for a response. What year did you attain the age of 60?
Isn't this personal, Chairman? What? I think it's too personal. No.
Chairman, if people think that this is personal, let me just remind this House and the Finance Minister, the Deputy Finance Minister, that her boss, the Finance Minister, came before the House of Parliament and informed us on behalf of His Excellency the President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, that he was no longer going to be giving contractual extensions to people above the age of 60, especially when their expertise was not scarce. Your boss, the Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, told the House that on behalf of His Excellency the President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And so when I ask a question that which year did the Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority attain 60, it is not a personal question. He's a public servant. Thank you.
But Mr. Span, is my colleague assuming? Is he assuming that?
I haven't called you.
Oh.
I haven't called you. OPK, I haven't called you. Leave that one to me to direct.
OMC is not a personal question, please.
Honorable members, we have our laws in this country that govern us. If the Commissioner General attained the age of 60, he can be given a contract. If the member is asking a question about his age, he should just respond and say, I'm 60, but I'm on contract. Finish. Whatever the finance minister say, we'll take the finance ministers on. So why are we arguing about this? We should not argue about this. You can say that, oh, I'm on contract. That's all. Yeah. So, Mr. Commissioner General, can you respond to the member's question?
Mr. Chairman.
Honorable members, why? Are you the one asking the question? Sam George is the one who asked the question. Can we hear the actual question from Sam George?
Thank you very much, Chairman. The question again I asked, very simple. Which year did the Commissioner General of the GRA attain 60?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Before he answers, I just want to find out, is this a public interest question? No. Respectfully, asking us.
Honorable Minister.
So then, Mr. Chairman, if he has a question, he should go straight to the question. Asking for someone's age.
Honorable Minister, the officer to whom the question is directed is a public officer. So it's a public interest question.
Chairman,
no.
It's too personal.
No.
It's a personal question, Mr. Chairman.
No. It's not personal. It's not personal. It is not personal.
Mr. Chairman, it's just like asking
Mr. Commissioner General,
where were you born?
Respond to the question.
It's just like asking Mr. Commissioner General, where were you born? For me,
I have explained why I'm allowing him to respond to the question. If you're not satisfied with this, do you want to be shouting at this committee? Will that solve the problem? It won't. I'm saying that he's a public officer. We have the law that govern this country. Fortunately, if you attain the age of 60, you have the opportunity to be given a contract. If he's on contract, he will tell us, and that's solve it. What is your problem? If he's not up to 60, he will say it. What is your problem? Mr. Commissioner General, can you respond to the question?
All right, so it's been 15 minutes and the question is still not being answered. However, months later, it appears that we have an answer to the question. And Sammy, you are livid about it.
Yes.
Why?
Yes. So on Wednesday, I intercepted these documents from the presidency. 2 letters dated the 26th of March.
Same day.
26th March 2024. But with different reference numbers. Signed by Nana Bediatu Asante, Secretary to the President. He signed both letters. Addressed to
But let's see the letters.
Dear Commissioner General. And I'm reading the first one, extending Reverend Dr. Mishadai Osuama, the Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority's mandate for 2 years. It says, extension of service as Commissioner General of Ghana Revenue Authority. I am pleased to inform you that the President has granted you a 2-year extension of service as Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority from the 11th of October 2021 to 10th October 2023. I take this opportunity to congratulate you on your further extension. Please accept the President's best wishes.
So hold on. The President has.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
The President has.
Yes.
The paragraph
has the President has granted you
has granted
a 2-year
you.
extension.
And then
and the date is 26 March 2024.
And then the next paragraph says,
as Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority from 11th October 2021 to 10th October 2023. So retroactively.
So the President on 26th of March.
After the fact,
26th of March decided to grant the man extension from 2021
to 2023.
To 2023.
Yeah, when we are in March 2024.
And he decided to take that decision on the 26th
of March 2024.
Okay.
And that is not all. And you know why they will have to send 2 letters? Under the Constitution, if the President must grant these extensions, he can only do 2 years.
2 years at a go.
So 2 years at a time, 2 years, not more than 2 years. 2 years, 2 years, then 1 year. Okay. So you can have a maximum of 5 years. So
these letters, they delayed?
Yes, it's almost 3 years after the fact. So 26 March 2024, same day, the President Secretary signs another letter. Further extension, this one is further extension of service as Commissioner General. The first one is extension. This one is further extension of service as
so the
Commissioner
same
General.
day, the man got 2 extensions.
2 extensions, yes.
Of 2.5 years.
Yes.
On the same day,
yes.
After he has served the 2.5 years.
Yes, after.
Okay.
What a country, what a government, what a presidency.
So
it says further extension.
Yeah.
I am pleased to inform you that the President has granted you a further extension of service as Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority from 11th October 2023 to 31st March 2024. I take this opportunity to congratulate you on your further extension. Okay. Please accept the President's best wishes. Signed, Nana Bediatu Asante, Secretary to the President.
But it was on the 27th that we were informed that he's been relieved of his appointment.
Yes.
And same day, 27th, we were informed of the appointment of the lady.
Yes, of the lady. Okay. Yes. And you see, a civil society group announced last week, their leader is Atik Mohammed, that they are going to court to test the law. That the 27 months that Reverend Amisha Dai has been in office, should he be entitled to all the salaries, all the privileges that he has enjoyed? Shouldn't he be refunding it? And what are the legal implications of all the contracts that he signed on our behalf? Particularly the SML $100 million contract. So they announced, they put out a statement that they are going to court. So this is clearly an effort by the President to clean Reverend Amisha Dai up.
So not even this, what happened at the Public Accounts Committee.
Yes, could stop them.
Could make them even write a letter.
Yes. I mean, and they waited till 26 March 2024, only last week.
And then the following day, they announced that the man has been sacked.
The man is
going.
to leave. Yes. So this is to cover his tracks. And you see, what is worrying is that the country is awaiting the KPMG report on SML. I'm sure one of the matters, critical issues, that KPMG will have looked at is whether the man even had capacity.
In fact, at the time the President appointed, at the time KPMG was appointed by the President to go into these things, the President had not legitimized the man's
Exactly.
job.
He has, yes.
He hasn't legitimized
he hasn't. So why are you doing this now? Why? So you want to just make nonsense of everything, just clean the man up, cover his tracks? What kind of governance is
No,
this?
but why would any government keep somebody at a job for 2.5 years without doing what the law says he should do?
Yeah. Why did he stay on? What business did Reverend Amit Shaddai have staying in that office all these years?
I'm trying to reconcile this with the efforts that was made in hounding out the level.
Yes.
At least the Supreme Court has told us.
Yes. Yeah.
That despite all the legal jargons and all the grammar in those letters that were written, it was not grounded in law.
Yeah. Fantastic. Even telling him to take his accumulated leave and all of that. They couldn't wait to get rid of him.
I remember a line in that letter that suggested that Domelevo is not a lawyer.
Yeah.
So he cannot be lecturing or speaking about the law.
Yeah. I mean, look at this.
Anyway.
Well, clearly, it doesn't look tidy for appointment letters to be written 2 years after the appointment. It doesn't look tidy. And so we hope that things will be better. But the way Samuel Kujeto is going on, politicizing the issue, what the president...
Always, you want to share blame. Me, what blame do I have in this?
No.
Am I the one asking your president to
but you said...
clean people up?
You said
this
what the president...
horrible man.
What the government...
Yeah.
I'm saying that.
Are you proud of your government? These things you people are doing, are you proud?
But if I don't finish speaking, how will you know what I'm proud of? Now,
you want to blame me for everything.
I'm not. No, you are blaming. I'm saying that it's not time. Nobody would be happy about appointment letters being written 2 years after the appointment. But the way you are going about it, like it's what the president, what the government, indicting the whole government is not fair. The reason why I say it's not fair is that I'll read to you something that Felix Kwachiofosu.
You don't get
He said, letters with retroactive effect. He was responding to somebody called Collins. I don't know who that is. He said, Master Collins, you of all persons cannot join the bandwagon of ignorance. Letters with retroactive effect are very, very normal in government and public admin. The letter appointing me as an aide to former President Mahama from January 2017 to January 2021 was written to me 2 clear years after I had started work. When I was reappointed after the expiration of the first 4 years, the letter confirming my reappointment was written in September last year and states that the appointment took effect from January 2021 and ends in January 2025. So obviously, if you try and portray one government as what it is, not fair.
Are you saying that this is an appointment letter by a person in government?
No.
What Felix wrote, if this is true, he's talking about aid to the former president. So it means it was written now under this government.
Let me write to you. Let me read. Letters with retroactive effect are very, very normal.
But I hope this is authentic.
But even if it's not authentic, let's.
It says that letters with retroactive effect is because Samuel Kujeto.
I'd like to hear from Felix on this.
Are very, very normal in government and public administration, which I don't agree. I mean, why would you write letters with retroactive?
So if you don't agree, why are you using?
No, it's because Samuel Kujeto is going on about what the government.
So let me ask you a question, Nana, on this one. Now,
Felix, is he a retiree?
No, the appointment of people after they've attained the age of 80. It's 60, sorry. After they've attained the age of 60. Is completely different. Because in that one, there is a constitutional provision. That if the person attains that age, you can do ABCD. You should do ABCD. This is how you should do it. This is how you should do it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
It is different from a normal public service thing where we post teachers and health workers and it takes time to get this thing formalized and all those things.
What are we talking about on this matter?
We are talking about the president exercising a constitutional responsibility.
With retroactive effect.
Long after the.
Listen, we are talking about appointment letter. In fact, the reason why you brought these letters here is because those letters took retroactive effect.
Yes.
That's why you got it.
Yes.
That they should have been written
Yes.
And
3 years ago.
Yes, and there are matters that this man has engaged in during that period, which are the subject of investigation.
Yes, no problem. But we are talking about his appointment letters, written 2 years
and contracts he has signed, the SML
so
contracts.
We are talking about letters.
At the time, he didn't have capacity to sign those contracts.
We are talking about letters, making appointments with retroactive effect, sometimes 2 years and so on. And we're saying that it can be tidier. I mean, really. But your attempt to ask us to believe that this shows the presidency is totally not up to it, and
but what you have read from Felix actually worsens your case, because it's the same Akufo-Addo government that is giving him belated.
You mean Felix was appointed by the government?
Yeah, because he's under the conditions of service of former president. It's an aide to the former president.
We can't
he's appointed by the former president.
We can't appoint Felix to be aide to.
No, but your
eagerness to do propaganda makes you totally. Now we are the one appointing Felix to to John Mahama. I mean, what is this? What is this?
It is
public
service ratification.
What's the?
I don't get the relevance.
The relevance is that
is Felix a retiree?
Obviously, this is a recurrent matter, and we should make sure it doesn't continue. But this business of what the government, what the president, I'm saying, what's all this for?
And it's
because
also
obviously it's something that
but don't.
So the government announced a policy to Parliament. That government has decided.
Which policy?
That a policy of not engaging.
People who have met the retirement age.
60. It was announced. Yes, it was announced in Parliament by the finance minister.
It was in the 2022 budget.
Yes. And subsequently, the Minister of State, now Minister of State designate, Mrs. Abna Osei, yes,
signed a letter
informing everybody that this is the directive and that they are no longer going to offer contracts. Now, against these two, what was contained in the document to Parliament, and it was part of measures that government said it was going to use to show cost expenditures. Yes.
The Honorable Abna Osei-Asari's letter is dated 5th August 2022. I have a copy here. It says, financial clearance, contract appointment. Please refer to the 2022 budget statement and economic policy, which has been submitted and approved by Parliament for the 2022 fiscal year. The Ministry of Finance writes to inform heads of ministries, departments, and agencies, and MMDAs of some expenditure policy measures as outlined in the 2022 budget statement. Paragraph 324 of the 2022 budget statement and economic policy states, quote, government has with immediate effect suspended the granting of approval for post-retirement contract appointments, except in cases where the skills of the retiring officer are in short supply and unavoidably needed, unquote. In view of this, we are unable to grant financial clearance for post-retirement contract appointments at this stage. Please treat as urgent. Signed, Honorable Abna Osei-Asari, Deputy Minister for the Minister, all Chief Directors. And it is this same period.
What was the point?
So I'm saying that this is clearly what the President communicated to Parliament, so to the people of Ghana, that this is the decision that has been taken.
Approved by Parliament.
The action of the President is contrary to what he told us.
Okay. If you claim that the appointment of Reverend Mr. Dai goes contrary to what we've read from the ministry.
It's not my claim. You don't believe it. You don't
no,
believe
once
that it's
again,
contrary.
I'm saying, if that's your claim, it may be a valid claim about the propriety of it. That's not to do with the retroactive aspect. It's a different matter. That whether retroactive or not, the appointment goes against policy. But if we read the letter that Samuel Kujeto has brought, it would look like the appointment of this particular gentleman predates Abena says letter. Because this appointment is from 2021. And the letter is 2020.
So there are two letters.
Yeah. So the second one.
Yeah, the further extension.
Yeah. So you can make that point that the second letter, the second appointment, because that one came after 2022.
Yeah.
So, but on the matter of
and then what are the implications for the agreement he signed, which is a subject of controversy?
Oh, well, by this letter, obviously, government is committed.
Which agreement?
But they're saying that
SML, $100
the
million
decisions that were taken.
Yeah. So at the heart of this is the president
that's
once
why
again
I played,
trying
that's
to
why I went back
trying to claim
play
his
what happened at the
appointees.
Public Appointments Committee.
Yeah.
But you see, obviously, the man himself, he didn't have an appointment letter at the time.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, obviously. That's why he couldn't
he
answer.
was given these letters.
Yeah.
The day he was told that he's no longer going to continue.
Exactly.
Clearly untidy.
And they want to, claim him.
But it happened during your time. I mean, Felix says that is normal.
It's just a penchant to cover up and
Come on, but you people, this is Lugua thing. You have to
the whole,
which one?
The whole
now things are
so it's been nullified.
Things are normalizing.
We are not discussing Lungwa. We are discussing
getting,
Jubilee House.
We're
Jubilee
getting
House.
some clarity and all those.
We are discussing Jubilee House. Is Jubilee House in Lungwa?
What clarity? What clarity?
Is Jubilee House in
clarity?
Lungwa?
Oh, the traditional authorities are bringing clarity. I've said that there's a conflict between the law.
Look, I'm
so
surprised
customary law and then statute or yes.
I'm surprised
and
that
that is what we need to do.
You are falling for his trap.
But customary.
You don't see what he's doing.
Because he calls me Gamanche, so
you don't see what he's doing.
I know that he was.
What am I doing?
Is the Jubilee House located?
But we finished. The man
you?
is closing the program and I sleep.
Who told you that we finished? We are going to discuss digitalization. Who told you that we finished?
We have 10 minutes.
10 minutes, good. I'll make good use of it. I'm not going to follow Nana Komia to Nungwa.
Okay.
So, I was shocked when the National Health Insurance Authority appeared before us with their 2024.
When you say us, who are you?
Parliament.
Okay.
Parliament.
So now we have to be careful.
Yes, not the Foreign Affairs Committee. This is the larger Parliament.
Right.
Yeah. And not the subsidiary legislation. Yes. So, for precision.
How did they come before you? They were referred to you.
Yes, this committee of the whole.
Oh.
Yeah, committee of the whole. So you know that
thanks for the clarification.
We approved the formulas for the GET Fund, for NHIA, for the DACF. So this is the National Health Insurance Authority.
So this is before the entire Parliament.
The sheer preponderance of digitalization expenditures, over 1.1 billion, struck us. So one of the key recommendations of the session that day was to have a committee, a bipartisan committee, to look into this digitalization matter.
Who's the chairman of that committee?
So this is a committee of the whole chaired by the Honorable Joe Osewusu, the first deputy speaker.
No, you said there's going to be a bipartisan committee too.
Yes, the membership has not yet been constituted. Yeah. So the NHIA told us that they are going to spend 405.74 million Ghana cedis on new biometric ID cards and authentication system for children 6 to 14 years. 405 million. Then they will spend another 343.92 million on a management information system. Another digitalization contract for claims processing centers and e-claims. That is 76 million. Then it continues, page 20. An archival system and document management. All IT experts are shocked that when you say you are going to do a management information system at 343 million, you don't have to be doing a separate, another digitalization contract for archival system and document management. It's supposed to be a subset of a management information system. That is another 38.58 million. Then they say that claims data that will be captured, another 112 million. Data transfer from NIA data transfer alone from NIA, 10 million. Then e-pharmacy, which you heard the vice president talk about at the Kwewu walk, the infamous Kwewu walk. E-pharmacy, that contract will cost us 11 million. You put this together, it's in excess of 1.1 billion. Now, I know this will annoy you the most, Doctor, because you have been very passionate about this, and I salute you for that. As we are spending these billions on digitalization, you know how much they said they will give the dialysis patients? Dialysis support for the needy. 2 million. Can you believe it?
2 million.
2 million. 2 million Ghana cedis.
And then they got newspaper front pages to carry, as if government was going to treat dialysis.
Yeah. Can you believe that? What private sector people, like the First Sky Group, who we must celebrate, have spent hundreds of millions. The whole NHI. And you look at the health sector in Ghana. What should be our priority at this point? This is a sector that, as we speak, the whole country, there are only 4 functioning MRIs. Can you believe that? Only 4 functioning MRIs. That's what the former health minister told us. You heard the doctors at Komfanochi say they have only 1.5 dialysis machines. 1.5. They don't have a mammography machine for women in the Ashanti region who show up with breast cancer. They don't have one. As we speak, 37 doesn't have a functioning MRI machine.
Just to put it in context, if a dialysis patient with 3 treatments a week spends 1,000 cedis a week on treatment, if the cost is 1,000, and a month is therefore 4,000, 2 million cedis can cater for 500 patients for 1 month. 2 million cedis at 4,000 cedis per patient per month.
Only 5 patients?
No, 500.
500. Only 500.
Have you finished?
No. I'm just warming up. So you look at the health sector. Only last week, Madame Perpetua Furi, the head of the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association, told us that nurses who helped us fight COVID are still waiting for their promised compensation, their reward. Told us that over 6,000 nurses are leaving because of their working conditions. And they say that it is even not really about salaries, but the conditions. They don't even have equipment to work with. We all saw the video from Tema General Hospital. Many hospitals that have been left uncompleted. What should be our priority in the health sector? Is it this dubious digitalization contrast that should be our priority? So, Doc, I decided to take this matter more seriously, beyond what has been presented to us, and to probe further. To my utter shock, I discovered that most of these contracts that the NHI is going to award and has awarded some already, over 1.1 billion, are already being done. I hold in my hands here the brochure that launched government's e-health project with biosurveillance, early warning system, launched on the 21st of November 2017 by a company known as Lightwave e-healthcare Solutions. Those who were at the launch are here, the health minister, the chief of staff, the Honorable Akosia Frema Osea Pare, the Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Anthony Insia Asare. This is $100 million contract. And Doc, when you go through the contract, the project overview, it talks about digitalizing our medical records, networking all hospitals, creating a data center for 24-hour recovery unit. Meanwhile, 2016, a data center was commissioned, so we didn't even need to sign this $100 million contract in 2017 to provide a data center, provide electronic medical records, develop a real-time biosurveillance system, develop or enable the development of a patient management system. Then it says the system will integrate the NHIS system to all hospitals in real-time validation. Meanwhile, the NHIA is going to award other contracts in 2024 when this lightwave contract is doing the same thing. Develop a centralized laboratory system. And you know how much has been paid so far for this? We've paid about 539 million cedis. When I did some further digging from our payment system, 539 million. Health insurance and
Ministry
of Health. And it's a running contract, they are still paying. Actually, the ministry is about to pay another 80 million in addition to the 539 million.
And this is for what?
For the e-health project. What they are calling the digitalization of medical records, biosurveillance, and all of that. They say they are networking all the hospitals. And indeed, if you look at the crude letter of 2nd June 2017 by the health minister, he didn't even take notice or acknowledge that the hospitals had existing contracts with other vendors. All of that, they just terminated all of it and parachuted with lightwave. $100 million contract. And we are going to spend, so this is 1.3 billion, we are going to spend another 1.1 billion on virtually the same thing. I thought I have heard the worst. Then I discovered that, the party continues. Others are being invited. There's a new kid on the block. He's coming to Bamba with the big boys. A company known as Spectrum Fiber Limited, owned by Mr. Razak Awudulai, close associate of the vice president. He's actually serving on the vice president's manifesto committee on communications. Close associate. So all this digitalization that the vice president is championing is becoming clear to us what it is about. This company, I have the PPA approval of 5th October 2023. Request for approval to use single source method. Single source. The people who said they are going to end single source and sole source. Single source method for the building of a wide area network, connectivity, and data center. Data center again. Duplication. Sometimes in triple, fourfold. So Lightwave is doing one and data center, $100 million. NIA says they are going to also do more, 1.1 billion. Then 5th October 2023. You are bringing in Spectrum Fiber, single source, to do the same thing.
For how much?
For $18.4 million. That is some 245 million Ghana cedis. Imagine what 245 million can do in this our crippled health sector, where there are no beds, there are no incubators. Look at the stories on a daily basis. So what is going on here? So you put this together, 2.6 billion cedis going into dubious
Billion.
Billion. I mean, what is this?
And your problem is the duplicitous
The
nature.
duplicitous nature. The
of
duplicitous nature, yes. And the insiders I've spoken to, they said they've complained. They've just had it. The duplicity. And you see, I'm not the only one concerned about this. The Minister of Communications, Osler, wrote this circular on the 16th of June 2017. It says, notice to all MDAs to consult the National Information Technology Agency, NITA, before procuring any ICT solution or products in Ghana. You may recall that government of Ghana in 2008, through an Act of Parliament, Act 771, established the National Information Technology Agency, NITA, to, among other things, regulate the provision of information communication technology, ensure the provision of quality information communication technology, promote standards of efficiency, and ensure high quality of service within the public sector. The ministry respectfully wishes to remind all MDs that this provision in the law is still valid and expects that public sector institutions endeavoring to procure any ICT solutions will seek the expert views of NITA to ensure that investments made from the public purse on ICT solutions inure to the benefit of the nation and the citizen. It has come to the attention of the ministry that MDAs are procuring standalone ICT solutions, applications, equipment, software, platforms, and switches that are not interoperable with existing technologies and therefore making them ineffective. Some also duplicate existing systems or do not provide value for money or use expensive proprietary software. In order to reduce duplication and waste of resources and to instill sanity in the procurement of ICT solutions and products within the public sector, NDAs are directed to consult NITA to seek their input on the standards and interoperability of the solutions. We seek your cooperation and request that this matter is circulated to all departments and agencies under your purview. Signed, the Honorable Esla Owusu Ekufu, MP Minister. Do you know that all these digitalization contracts, my check at NITA, this circular has been treated with contempt. NITA knows nothing about this. They are not checking with NITA. It's a free for all. No elder in the room. And the duplication continues.
Okay.
So what's the next step beyond the expose?
Yes. What also emerged is that apparently our medical records, we are in trouble. My investigations revealed that the Ghana Health Service does not even have access to the source codes.
And who has it?
Private people. Some in India. So next week I'm going to court. I've already instructed my lawyers because the Data Protection Act has been breached violently. So I'm going to court.
By the Ministry of Health?
Yes, on the Ghana Health Service. Yeah. So I'm going to court on this to stop the continuous breach. Number two, next week I'm going to the OSP because all of these contracts cannot continue, particularly this new Baumia Boy contract for 10 years. They want to be in a position and be cooling off 245 million. It's not going to happen. These duplications, I've seen a lot of breaches. NITA is not aware. The procurement abuses.
Right.
So the OSP will come in. We are also going to have a broader parliamentary inquiry. I've discussed with the leadership of the House on all of these digitalization schemes. It's the new scam in town.
All right. Okay.
You know,
Yes, sir.
you know, when Samuel Kuyatu was going on about digital and health, I remember the 1.2 billion CDs we were going to do for interconnectivity. And then we eventually ended up spending 4.5 million. So there's a lot to talk about. But you see, Sami says that, well, not he says, it's presented as a document that came before Parliament from the National Health Insurance. And they've given details of their activities and the expenditure, isn't it?
Yes.
And the funds that they are going to allocate to them. And you said there's on 1 billion, it came to 1.1
billion.
1.1 billion on digitalization.
If you aggregate all the digitalization projects.
Digitalization.
Expenditure.
Okay. Can you show me one? So this
start from page 18.
Just one. I just want to see.
Biometric
ID card and
405.74
That
million.
is the amount they will spend on
That's
it
how
this
much
year.
they spend this year. Yes. 405 million.
Okay.
Then management information system, they will spend 343 million.
And then they've given what they spent.
Then they will give the
in
Ministry of Health 80 million for the e-health contract to pay for the Lightwave. The Lightwave contract, the $100 million contract.
Okay. But you said when it came before the entire Parliament.
Yeah. We were all alarmed
At
the plenary.
No, you are alarmed at what?
At yes, on digitalization
because you
alone.
suspect there could be duplicity and you suspect there could be.
Yeah. That is what made me pro-FEDA into the
So
digitalization
a
space
committee,
in the health sector.
an ad hoc committee is going to be set up
Yes.
to look into the issues of the activity and the spending.
Yes, of NHIA
Of
specifically.
NHI, yes.
Yeah.
An ad hoc committee is going to be set up.
Yes.
So why don't we wait for the bipartisan ad hoc committee?
Because that would be specific to NHIA. I have gone beyond to look at the entire health.
But what
space.
you're talking about is NHI.
Yes, but no, there are other things. There is the Lightwave $100 million. Then there's a new.
Oh, that one is not NHI.
No. Then there's a new Baumia Boy contract
So,
of 245 million.
So I think what you need to do is push so that they can include all of this.
Yes.
Expand the scope.
So
Expand,
so that I mean it's good that you want to raise issues, but let's wait for a committee. Like you said, I'm happy that you said a committee is going to look at the prudence and the spending and all of that. This business about Baumia, you say somebody has been given a contract. Yes. Baumia's close associate. You mentioned some name. Who's that?
Razak Awudulai, the director of the Spectrum Fiber Company Limited.
And this company has been given some contract.
Yes, single sourced to do.
Yeah. As for single source,
duplicative.
We've all said that really we should be able to amend the procurement laws to limit the operation of single sourcing.
But you don't need to amend the law to stop it. You don't need to.
Sorry?
You are abusing the law. You don't need to amend the law to stop what you are doing.
If you don't amend the law, how are you going to stop? Because people are using the law. The law
They
allows
are abusing the law, yes. They are abusing the law.
Yes, and I'm saying that to cut the abuse, you must go to the law.
We just need integrity, leadership.
Because, look...
leaders should do what they preach. In opposition, you say you will end it. Why have you come and you are doing worse?
1 second. So let's say both governments have not done well. Because in NDC, if we have to list the single source procurement that the procurement authority approved, we won't leave it.
But things are getting worse.
1 second. I have all the procurement done under Silas Mensah at procurement, single source. And you have shown us that they are still continuing. So we said here to one of the times that we really need to tighten the law because the leverage that it gives is being abused. But my worry is, you said somebody is a close associate of Baumia because he's on the manifesto committee.
Yes.
There are 300 people on the various manifesto committees. About 300 people. I'm in 2 committees on transport and another committee. There are 300 of us on the manifesto committees. So to describe somebody as a close associate because he's on the communications committee, I don't understand it.
Why,
the membership of the membership of the manifesto committees are not selected by Baumia. The chairman of the manifesto committee is Chairman Sambonsu, of the whole, and then there are subcommittee chairmen who then populate their committees. That's why you have the case where people have see their names and they haven't been consulted because chairmen have gone ahead to populate their committees.
I know what I'm talking about when I say it's a close associate. It's not just about the
But
committee.
what you have told us is that it's a close associate because it's on the communications committee.
Yes.
I'm saying, but if somebody is...
So
that's what I'm interrogating.
The former appointee of President Akufo-Addo.
That's what I'm interrogating.
He was the MD of Go Energy in the Akufo-Addo's first term. Don't talk as if you don't know the chart and his proximity.
I never heard of his name.
You don't know the former managing director of Go Energy and the one who does special duties.
Look,
for Baumia, you don't know him.
I don't know all the people around anybody.
Wow.
There are so many people. You may even have seen him, but you don't even know the name.
Vice chairman of the Baumia campaign now doesn't know.
He now needs to do an identification.
We have to organize. Will you give him your compound?
No.
Give him the Metro TV card.
He will use digitalization.
I would single source and you could
to do it for you.
Because the expertise is there. But I'm saying that it is not fair to Baumia or the gentleman to say that he's gotten this contract because he's a close associate. Then your basis of the close association is that he's a member of a communication.
But you think you can come by this 245 million sole source
but you
contract?
See,
but Nana, are you saying that? Are you saying
that? But there's
a
committee. Let me make this clear. There's a committee that has been set up by Parliament.
You think anybody walking around in Ghana will be invited? Hey, come for you know what single sources is? They just call you.
So because there is a close association.
Hey, come take 245 million.
But your basis for the close association is in the committee.
So Nana,
yes, sir.
Are you from what you said, and we've had this conversation 100 times.
Which one?
The issue about
single source.
Both parties did the same. Yeah. I'm saying that. So I always ask you this question. So the Ghanaian out there who listened to you in 2016, who you pointed out all these whole contracts, who you did the press conferences and issue statements and said that this was tantamount to corruption.
Yes.
And that when you come to office, it will be a thing of the past.
Yes.
You are in office. You are still in office.
Yes.
And it's gone from bad to worse if you look at the volumes.
Okay.
You're saying that you do not, these Ghanaian people do not deserve an explanation from you as to why what you...
Clearly.
Yes.
Don't worry, clearly.
Yes.
We have failed when it comes to this single source matter because we complained about it when it was happening rampantly. I can show you the press conferences that we had listing all of that. So, and it's not just me, everybody. So if we've come into office and we are still, we can show that we are also engaging in a lot of single source, then we have failed. There's no killing out.
Straight to go, but let me do this. Today is the birthday of COP retired Kofi Boakye, Nathan Kofi Boakye. Today is his birthday. So happy birthday to you, Commander 1, COP Nathan Kofi Boakye. It's also the birthday of the Honorable Minister for, he now works in housing, Kojo Nkrumah. Okay. Yes. 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 K-O-N. Yes. Okay. It's lucky it's a K and not a C. It's pronounced the same. So, Kojo, today's your birthday. Happy birthday to you, Kojo Nkrumah. Happy birthday to you. It's also the birthday of the CEO of the Ghana Chamber of Mines, Dr. Suleiman Okone. Today's your birthday, so from your wife and your children, they say a happy birthday to you, Dr. Suleiman Okone, CEO of the Ghana Chamber of Mines. So, big happy birthday, COP retired Kofi Boakye. Big happy birthday, the Honorable Kojo Nkrumah. A big happy birthday, Dr. Suleiman Okone, CEO Ghana Chamber of Mines. Up next, James.
But I thought you were going to make the policeman.
Let's send condolences to our friend Prince Derek J.
Yes, yesterday I announced the.
And then let me also extend condolences to the Professor Novo family, our second Volta Regional NDC chairman, who hails from my constituency. He passed.
Okay.
So his funeral is tomorrow.
Okay.
So condolences to these two families.
I'll
deal with them.
The Minerals Commission says that some high quality grade of clay and some things have been found in your constituency.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's
I hope it doesn't lead to galamsey, though.
Clay, galamsey, a lot of them will sleep.
And I thought you were going to make Kofi Boakye the running mate.
Oh, he will definitely have a high place.
Oh, is it because you saw him in Kumasi?
Well, I heard stories that those of you who are the two of you, you're deeply involved in that. Sammy was pushing for the professor, and I thought
who can push President Mahama? You can't push President Mahama.
No, I didn't say you push Professor. I said you were pushing for him.
Right, welcome back to the show. Just joined us. This is Good Morning Ghana, live on Metro TV. Time to check our streaming on social media. And just to remind you that right after Trends, there's a one-on-one interview with a new managing director of Accra Hearts of Folk. That's for Metro Sports. So the new MD for Accra Hearts of Folk is going to be here live for a one-on-one interview with our sports team. That's right after Trends with Desi the Starboy. Yes, Desi.
Look, phobia, we are saying phobia wants me to phobia.
My family house.
Yes. Anyway, Doc, this one, a quick one. I woke up to the news, or we all woke up to the news that the assistant coach for the Black Stars has sued a number of media houses and some sports personalities in the country for information.
Okay.
As a lot of people have been talking about it on social media, he's not been happy with a lot of things that have been said about him. I'm sure notable amongst them will be that of Countryman Songo. So he says defamation. So we'll look into that. We'll wait and see how that one goes there. And quickly moving on, you know that there's a merger that's going to be happening between Alan Chamatin and Abu Sakara. And a lot of people have been sharing their thoughts whether it's worth it, whether they could make any great impact, on the scene as we're getting into the elections in December. So that is also trending on Twitter this morning. But one thing that I want to let you know is that, okay, so that's it on the screen there. Alan Key and Abu Sakara. That's quite a merger. So we'll wait and see what happens with that. But let me also tell you about Miss Gorgeous. If you have been watching Metro Television, you'd notice that we've been putting that up on our socials, on TV. Miss Gorgeous is our fresh baby coming out. It's a pageant, but this time it's about the month which you're born. That's what you'll be representing. And so the auditions are happening. You can still come around if you're a young lady, you think you can rep your month really well, come by our studios. That's at Northridge here in Accra. Yes, today and also tomorrow. Right.
So the auditioning is today and tomorrow.
Today and tomorrow.
Miss Gorgeous.
Yes.
There's a promo for it, right?
Yeah, there's a promo for
Can we just see
Miss
the promo?
Gorgeous.
Can we see the promo for Miss Gorgeous?
Real quick, and then we will talk about. But of course, Doc, you are January. I am June. Like we were saying the other time, we have June has in the middle of the month fine girls and all that. So
all right.
we can also represent that. So so watch out for that. Miss Gorgeous coming on your screen. So audition today and also tomorrow. Be part of this and you could win yourself. Okay, let's watch the promo.
To enter the Miss Gorgeous contest, fill out a registration form with 50 Ghana cedis at the Metro TV office at Northridge, or go online to www.metrotvonline.com. You can also type in the short code *857*8# and follow the directions. Next, do a self-introduction video with your phone number, birth month, socials, and send to metrotvonline.com. You will be contacted if you make the shortlist to represent your birth month. Up for grabs is a sleek saloon car for the alternate winner and cash prizes for the final 6. Miss Gorgeous 2024, dare to dazzle.
All right, so the ultimate winner would go with the saloon car and some other cash prizes for all those who get to be part of it. So please, all the fine ladies out there, all the gorgeous ladies out there, please come around and be part of this. Yeah,
Are you going to be part of those who will be doing the auditioning?
I'll be there.
Are you part of the judges?
No, but I mean, I'm just going to see. Oh, we have
You'll be there to do what?
To see the fine girls who come for June.
Please. you have been banned from
going there.
Yes, Emanuela has asked me to.
Look, I'm working.
Emanuela sent me a text.
Look, I'm working.
She says that I should make sure that you're not part of the Miss Gorgeous thing. So.
Have a great weekend.
So sometimes we must save people from themselves.
Have a great weekend, people.
Huh?
Have a great weekend.
Oh, do you want to cry? Anyway, we need to go, but I've just been told that today is the 50th birthday of Albert Danzapia. So Albert Danzapia, today is your 50th. Happy 50th birthday to you from my brother Eric. And also the CEO of Nagod FC, Edward Mauto. Today is also your birthday. Happy birthday to you. So up next, the special edition of Metro Sports, a one-on-one interview with the chief executive or managing director of Accra Out of Folk Sporting Club Limited. They're just done with their AGM. They have a new board in place. So enjoy the weekend. If you're interested in Miss Gorgeous, the auditioning is on this morning and tomorrow here at Metro TV. You can come in or go through the short code that has been put on your screens. Enjoy the weekend. God willing, we'll be with you next Monday.